Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be working on sort array by increasing frequency. And in this one you're given an array of numbers and you want to sort in increasing order based on the frequency, and if two values have the same frequency then you want to sort those in decreasing order. So you still want to have every value, so all the values that are the same are going to be right next to each other. So here there's 2 1s, 3 2s, and 1 3. So you're going to have the 3, then the 1s, and the 2s. In the second one, you have 1 1 and 2 2s and 2 3s. So you're going to have the 1 first, but then there's 2 2s and 2 3s, so you want to have the bigger value first. So it's going to be like this. And then there's some bigger example like this. But basically, we want to sort on two conditions, and this is kind of common, I guess. So condition 1, frequency ascending. Condition 2, if the first one's a tie, value descending. So basically, in most languages, you can write a custom sort function that will take the frequency of the item. And typically, what you want to do for a sort function is if you want to have ascending, like let's say you just want to have something basic, like in terms of value ascending. Typically, what you do is you need to return something that like is bigger for the values to the right. So if you have two values A and B and you want A to come before B, you can either compare them and it needs to be negative if A is smaller, or you can just return like the value of A and the value of B. But in most languages, you basically compare them and then you return a negative if A is before B. So hopefully that makes sense. Because so you need some function that will return negative if A is smaller. So if in this case, we can just do something simple like A minus B. Right? That way, if A is smaller, like if we have 1 and 5, we'll get negative 4. And if you want it in reverse order, then you could do B minus A, because that will make sure that B will come first. So either way, but basically here, we want the frequency ascending. So here, what we can do is we can say, if we want frequency ascending, we can say, let's just do the same thing as A minus B, but instead we can do the frequency of A minus the frequency of B. And then this value will be this value will be negative when A is before B, which is what we want. So that's one thing we can have. Now, if there's a tie, we could say, like, if frequencies are the same, then go by value. And if we want value in reverse, then instead of A minus B, we do B minus A. So we could say, like, if frequency is the same, then we'll just take the values and we'll do the value minus the other value. Or like I said, in some languages, you just return some value and then it will automatically sort by, like, it'll get that value for everything, and then whichever one's bigger, it will give you the thing. So depending on the language, different implementations. So let's do it in Java, and then I'll quickly show you a Python one. So first, we can't write a custom sort function on an int array. We need to do it on an integer array. So the first step is we're going to say integer array, sorted nums or something. Actually, no. The first thing we need to do is we need to get the frequency of every item. So we're going to say, because we need to use that in our custom comparator, so we can say map. This. Okay. Alright, we don't need this. Okay. Then we need to go through every item and get this. So for, I guess we could do this and get the integer one at the same time. Yeah, so let's do that. So we'll say integer array, whatever, integers or something, or ints. I guess maybe ints is a special thing, integers. Okay, oh yeah, so I guess ints is fine. And this is going to be nums length. So instead of doing this, we can just say for int I equals 0. And there's a way to convert an int array into an integer array using like a stream or some other stuff, but this is like the most basic way. So we're going to say int I equals nums I, because we want an integer instead of an int. And we're going to increment the count. So we're going to say counts put I, or nums I, counts getter default nums I, and the default value will be 0 plus 1. So we filled out our counter and we filled out everything. Okay, so the next step is we need to write this custom sort function. So, and we can do this on an array of integers. So we can say arrays sort ints, and now we can write a custom sort function. So I think it's like you give it a, b, and a lambda function and this. So first we want to get the frequencies. So we can say int freq a equals counts get a, and freq b equals counts get b. So we want to say if they're the same, then we want the values. So if the frequency of a equals the frequency of b, then we want to sort in descending order by the values. And remember, if you want ascending, you do a minus b. If you want descending, you do b minus a. So we want descending, so we'll do b minus a. And we just need to return this value. Okay. Otherwise, we want to sort increasing in terms of frequency. So here we do a minus b, so frequency a minus frequency b. And return as well. You can do like integer compare and those things as well. So if you do an integer compare, if you want increasing, you do a then b. If you want decreasing, you do b then a. So pretty easy to remember. You're always just going to subtract them. Increasing is a then b, decreasing is b then a. Okay. Yeah, so we sort this guy. And then what we need to do is so this is an integer array. Now we just need to get an int array. So we can do the same thing again. Int array result equals new int array this time of num's length. We can copy this and change it a little. And we can say result I equals int I. And then we just return that. Okay, so we can run this, and it works. And this is pretty easy, time and space. So time is a sort, so I'm log n. And space, we did have to make some intermediate arrays and a counter and stuff, so of n. But yeah, that's the main thing to remember, most of these, and I'll quickly show you a Python one. Python's a lot easier than these. So in Python, you can get the counts by using a counter. So this basically gives you a hash map of the counts. And then you can sort your array, and you give it a key, and you can give it a tuple of the fields you want to sort on. And so you want to sort on the count first, and if you want an increasing order, you just make this positive. And if you want the value and you want a decreasing order, you just make your value negative. So like I said, depends on the language. But either you get some value and you just return that and it'll sort based on how big that value is, or you take two values and you do one minus the other, where like I said, ascending is a minus b, descending is b minus a. So depending on your language, different solution, but yeah, pretty much that. And yeah, that's going to be all for this one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.